$12,283. That's how much it costs to get 3 of my kids' braces and Invisalign.
Oh my God! Wow!
It is one of the biggest costs that we have spent on our kids. Wow, really ever. So today I want to break down what the costs were. Was it the braces that was more expensive? Was it the Invisalign? We're also going to answer the question, was it really worth it? It's a showdown, braces versus Invisalign. Which one wins? We're going to find out what the answer is to that and a whole lot more. Let's go. What is going on, GFC fam and Wealth Hacker Nation? It's your boy, Jeff Rose. Always grateful, always ready to help you make your life more. And today we're talking about these pearly whites. That's right, my teeth, but not actually my teeth. We're talking about my kids' teeth. And whenever my wife and I got married, I guess this is before we got married, we started talking about our teeth. And why do we talk about our teeth? Because we both realized that we both have had braces. We both had braces when we were younger. And I had mine. I didn't get mine until I was later in high school because I fought it. I resisted it. I didn't think that I needed braces. I was wrong. I mean, my teeth weren't that bad. Maybe they were. I don't know. But I know my mom really wanted me to have braces. And I just put it off. And finally I gave in when I was a junior or a senior? I think it was like when I was a junior in high school. All I know is that I had my braces up until my freshman year of college. I think that's when I finally got them removed. And I was so happy that I did. But when I started thinking like, wait, I had braces, you had braces in regards to my wife. Wow, our kids are probably going to need to have braces. Like, do we need to start like a braces fund or orthodontist fund? Turns out there was some foreshadowing there, because right now with my 4 children, time of this recording, my high schooler, he's 14, my oldest is 14, 12, 10 is my youngest son, and then my daughter is 7. So as of right now, 3 out of my 4 children have had braces. Well, 2 have had braces. 1 has had Invisalign, which I guess technically is braces. It's just a variation. And my daughter, she hasn't even lost all her baby teeth yet. So, oh no, I don't know. Maybe she'll have great teeth, but there is a good chance that she won't. Just how things are unfolding. And I know how much braces cost when I was in high school many years ago, and it wasn't cheap then. So it's either, okay, is there inflation where cost has gone up, or is there technology now that makes it a whole lot cheaper? Turns out cost really hasn't gone down. Technology has improved to where they don't have braces as long as they used to. Plus you have Invisalign is also another feature. So what I want to spend some time today is just sharing with you how much we spent. Now I shared that in the teaser, like how much it cost, but the total cost, I want to break down how much it was for braces, how much it was for Invisalign, and anything else that you would need to know if you find yourself in a situation, whether this is for yourself or for your kids. Like, do you need to set aside a special fund so that you can actually pay for your kids' orthodontist bill? Let's first start talking about, the technology. Like, what is the difference between the braces and Invisalign? For most people, like I know for me, when I had braces, I wanted the clear braces. And back then, you had these little rubber bands that would go around the brace. And if you ate like spaghetti or chili, like any red sauce, they turned brown, like reddish brown. So now all of a sudden you have these clear braces, and it just looks horrible because you have like these little brown circles like around your brace, and it just, you couldn't hide it. The only way that you could make that go away was if you could actually replace a rubber band, but it was really hard. So basically I had to wait till my next orthodontist appointment to get those replaced. And that just was not a lot of fun. And that were the times like I did not like having the clear braces. Now, I will say the technology has improved. So my oldest son, my high schooler, he has the clear braces. And yes, you can see them, but they don't use the same type of bands now. So it's not as easy to get discolored. So he pretty much eats what he wants to eat. He doesn't refrain from eating like any red sauce or anything. Yes, you can still get food stuck in your braces, but it's not going to change color. So like that has came a long way. Also, too, he's only going to be wearing, I think, his braces for a total of like a year and a half compared to the 2 years that I had to wear my braces. Like, I don't know what the difference is for him and why it's different, but either way, he gets to wear it for 6 months less than I did. And I know with my wife, like she had hers on and then she had them off. And I think she had them when she was fairly young, like in junior high. And then she had them taken off, and I guess she had them taken off too soon. Even though she was wearing her retainer, she ended up having to have braces again for another year. And for me, like I had mine for 2 years, was wearing my retainer, and then what I was dealing with was my front teeth. I had a nice little gap in between. And even though I was wearing my retainer like I was supposed to, I had to have like this permanent wire on the back of my front teeth, keeping them together. And it's still there to this day. And I'm used to it by now, but for just like your braces, for those that know, like you have the braces and it starts irritating the inside of your gums. It's just really annoying. Well, this bracket thing was really affected my tongue for a while. My tongue was just raw and very uncomfortable. Either way, though, I didn't have to worry about my 2 front teeth coming apart again and having to have braces all over again. And I still wore my retainer for a number of years. And I guess at some point I finally lost it and then never had to wear it again. Now, my oldest son and my younger son, like they both had to wear the retainers. Like that hasn't changed, even though they get to wear their braces nearly as long as mom and dad had to. So that is one area where it has improved dramatically. Now, what makes Invisalign like so attractive for a lot of people is the ability to take it out. So with Invisalign, it's almost like these dentures that snap in, and they print these off using some sort of like 3D printing, and you put them on your teeth. And basically what happens is every few weeks you change the Invisalign piece. I want to call it a denture because that's what it looks like, but it's this clear denture. I'm going to keep calling it a denture because I don't know what else to call it. But it goes like, if you have it on top and bottom, you put it on almost like a mouthpiece, right? Like you put them on your top bracket, your lower bracket, and it will adjust your teeth. And then you change it out every 2 weeks. And so if you get, let's say, like a 3-month supply, they're going to give you this box that has all your different weeks, and you just put it in. And after the second week, after whatever that time period is, you swap it out to the new one and you keep changing. Now, the cool thing, like I said, you can pop it out. It doesn't have to stay in. So if you want to go play like sports, or there's for whatever reason, it's just not comfortable wearing it, you have the option of taking that out, brushing it. Like I know my middle son, he's the one that chose Invisalign, and he wanted it because he just wanted that ability to take it out. I think there were some other reasons. He just didn't like the idea of having like the permanent bracket on there. So that's what he chose. And I mean, he loves it so far. Now, if there is any downside, and this is a pretty big downside, especially for your kid, you got to know your kid and determining which one you're going to choose, is that with Invisalign, yes, you can take it out. And that also means you have the ability to lose it or misplace it. And what happens is, like, let's say that you're 10 days into your 2-week denture, two-week bracket, and then you lose it. Well, you may have to go back to the other one. They have to reprint a new one, and then you have to, like, not start over, but basically start back at that 2-week stretch. And my 12-year-old, he is very responsible for his age. Let me say that. Like, has initiative. He gets himself up like super early to go to like the basketball practice on volunteer days. I mean, that is who he is. That's his personality type. That being said, he has misplaced his Invisalign several times. Several times. He'll take it out. You know, he has your little case, you know, that you could put it in, just like a retainer case, but he'll like set it on the table, set it on a napkin, and he loses track of it. Thankfully, he hasn't lost it yet, but it's going to happen. I just have a really strong belief that it's going to happen. So that is one of the downsides. Now, you do, as long as your teeth aren't super jacked up, you have the ability to choose whether you want braces or Invisalign. So as far as procedure wise, like if your teeth just need general modification, it's not like you need braces or Invisalign. Like, you can choose one or the other. It really is personal preference. Now, there are situations where if you do have to do some major work where you can't do Invisalign, but for the most of the population that is interested in getting braces for cosmetic purposes, then you can choose either one. Now let's talk a little bit about cost between the two. Like, which one is more expensive, braces or Invisalign? Well, they're actually about the same, believe it or not. So with Invisalign, let me say this. It does depend on where do you live in the country. You know, if you live in small rural area, it's going to probably be less expensive. You live in a big city, I feel like we're paying Nashville prices possibly. But you can see here by this chart, whether Invisalign or conventional braces, it's going to be anywhere between $3 to $7. And this is almost in line, I believe, like what I paid. We're going back in time here, right? We're going back to 1995. Yeah. Wow. Whoa. Goodness gracious. Yes. 1995. And I am pretty sure that my mom paid $4,000 for braces. And this was living in LA at the time. So this was definitely, LA prices, big city prices. Maybe it would have only been like $3,000 or $2,000 if I would have done it if I was living in the Midwest. But it was around $4,000. So the fact that right now the range is still relatively $3,000 to $7,000 for conventional braces or $3,000 to $7,000 for Invisalign, I mean, that pretty well aligns with what the costs were. And I think I was talking to my wife. I think she said that they paid about the same total, for the two separate times that she had to have it. Now, as far as how much we paid or how much it was for my kids, so with my oldest son, for his braces, we paid $5,040 for him, and we paid cash upfront out of pocket, so there was no monthly payment. And we may have got a friend and family discount because our orthodontist is our neighbor and we have gone on vacation together. Actually, I know that he did give us a bit of a discount. And also the fact that it wasn't just one kid, it's 3 kids. What? That we went to. So I think there also was like, hey, you have multiple kids, recognize you're going to spend a lot of money. So with our oldest son, Parker, it was $5,040 for him. For Sloan, it was only $2,200, $2,203 to be exact. Now with him, his story is a little bit different. So he had to have braces put on for now. He's currently wearing a retainer. And as he gets older, he's going to have braces again. So this was just like an interim period to get his teeth to a certain point so that they can start growing in together, so they weren't all like super, super jacked up. So his will end up costing an additional fee. I don't know how much that is. I'm just going to assume it's another $2,000. I don't know that for a fact. So right now I'm basing these numbers on what we have paid. We paid, once again, cash out of pocket for him. Now with Bentley, my middle son, he is the one that chose to go with Invisalign. And for him, it's the same cost as Parker. It was $5,040 for him. So total between all of them, is the $12,283. That is for everything, right? That's for the braces, all of the orthodontist visits, all of the anytime that we need any adjustments made, or if something happens where we need to reorder a new, say, Invisalign packet, that covers it all. So is that the total cost? Well, not necessarily. And this may be a factor with you or your child, depending on what needs to be done. But with our oldest son, he had to have his wisdom teeth taken out to free up some space back in his gums. So this was not because, this had everything to do with his braces and his teeth coming in. Now, we were able to use insurance for that. And right now, out of pocket for that procedure, it was only $232. That's how much we paid. But the total surgery, it was well over $3,700, just to give you an idea like how much it costs. Thankfully, we didn't have to pay for all of that out of pocket, but that is still something else to be considered. He had to go to an oral surgeon, which actually is next door to the orthodontist, and they typically work together if they can find a good partner. But that could be additional cost. I know back when I had my braces, I also had to have, actually that was separate. No, my wisdom teeth was separate, but I think I had to have some teeth extracted like here on top and bottom, I believe. And I don't know if that was included in the $4,000 cost that I mentioned earlier. Possibly. I'm gonna guess that it was, because they knew that's what I needed whenever I was getting braces. So total, like all in with everything, that is the $12,283 plus the wisdom teeth. It's definitely a good chunk. Now, one thing that we didn't do, and something that you do need to consider, and it could help you. So the way that we have our health insurance set up, we have a high deductible plan, and we could have an HSA. We don't have an HSA. We probably should have an HSA, and I can't tell you as right now why we don't. So that is something that could have helped. Another option is a FSA, a flexible spending account. So this is something that you can use to help pay for some of these expenses. So if you do have an FSA or an HSA, you can use these, and this could help not so much offset the cost, but help out with some of the taxable, tax savings in using one of these vehicles. So definitely, if you have one, consider that. And if you are in the whole kind of like planning stage where that your kids are going to need braces, like you see it. You see it every day, every time they smile at you and open their mouth. Start a new savings account. Start putting some money in there each and every month. And then also look into these other options, whether it be, an HSA or an FSA that could save you. Like if you know it's going to happen and you know that it's a cost that you're going to have to pay, it is better to start now instead of waiting till it's too late. I don't say we didn't. That's not us. We didn't wait too late. I will say we did not expect that all 4 of our kids, it's like, I was hoping for like maybe 2, but right now, like 3 out of the 4, and just assuming that our dogs are going to need it too, like yeah, it's a lot of money. Looking at this, like that is a lot of money, even though we got a friends and family discount. Now we could debate all day long, like, is it really worth it? Is $5,000 for braces or Invisalign, is it worth the investment? I will tell you, I didn't think that I needed braces. Like I thought my teeth were good enough. And after having them and then finally having them removed, I have received so many compliments on my smile. It has given me just a new sense of confidence. The only time I'm not confident with my smile is whenever I go to eat lunch or dinner somewhere, like in public, and I've got some food stuck in my teeth. Like that's probably the only time I'm not confident. But other than that, like whether I'm doing YouTube videos or meeting people in person, or I just like to smile. Like I'm a happy person. I like to be a happy person. And I know how it feels when somebody smiles at me. It makes me feel good. And I like to return that favor. So I can say without a doubt, even though it was my mom's money, I didn't pay for it out of pocket, but I can say without a doubt, it was definitely worth my mom's money for me to get braces. I'm grateful that she encouraged me and continued to push me and I'll say challenge me. But yeah, she kept telling me like, oh, you should get braces. I don't know if she told me my teeth were messed up. I don't ever remember her saying that, but I know that she definitely wanted me to have like a good smile, and she was willing to spend the money, and I'm glad that she did. So if you're uncertain that you think that it's worth it, if you have the ability, if you have the means, whether it's for you or a child or a loved one, I assure you it is worth it. It is worth it. It will give them or you a new sense of confidence that you've never felt, and just the ability to give people that smile and cheer up their day. It is by far, I think, one of the best investments that you can make. Yes, I said that here on the Good Financial Sense podcast. Getting braces or Invisalign is one of the best investments that you can make for yourself or for somebody that you love. All right, y'all. Hope you enjoyed this podcast or video. Until next time, this is Jeff Rose reminding you that it's your money, it's your life, and only you can make it awesome. Until next time, peace.